Hey guys, check out this bonus episode that we did for you a few months ago. So I'm just now getting it out, but I wanted to give the other video a couple of times, the other episode a couple of times or a couple of weeks to get some views. Um, Make sure that you are subscribing, checking out our videos, hitting the notification bell so that you get notified the next time we um, put an episode out. But really, the most important part at this point is make sure you subscribe to our channel. We got almost 150 views on our last episode. So, but we only have 19 subscribers. So we need your help, guys. Help us. We're wanting to reach at least 50 subscribers. So if you guys could help us reach that goal, that would be great. Thank you. Enjoy this bonus episode.
All right, guys. So Xander and I had a fantastic day in the woods. He killed his Jake, and I killed my Tom. So one of the things we wanted to do was educate. Our last video talked about education, and I really like that. So we, again, like you saw last time, we process all of our own meat because that's a point of pride for me. I don't want to take it to somebody else, and especially with turkeys. Turkeys are not that hard to do. So we kind of wanted to break down and show you what I do with a turkey. Now, I don't remember if I said this on our last episode, but basically wild turkey, some people do, but I don't like to treat it like I do a regular store-bought bird, because store-bought birds, they don't use their muscles and stuff as much on their legs and their flying. So wild turkey meat is a bit tougher than store-bought meat. So what I do is I take the breasts out, I take the legs off, and I take the heart out. And I will, on this big bird, we just got done processing Xander's bird, but we wanted to show you the big one. I'm gonna take out its breasts, and we'll probably grill or smoke them. I think I said that last time. And then the legs and thighs we'll either grind down or we'll turn it into, pulled turkey sandwiches. You gotta cook them down for a long time, but they are so good. So the first thing, this is the full bird. I haven't done anything with it yet. So a couple of things. Before we do anything, we want to cut off the beard, the tail fan, and the feet. Because sometimes we do different stuff with those things, and a beard is kind of a trophy, so you want to do that. So first thing we're going to do is cut off the beard. The beard's right here. Nice long beard, right? Oh, by the way, I weighed this turkey. It weighed 18 pounds. And which is crazy. Well, I did a rough scale. I stood on the scale and then put the turkey on my shoulder and got the two measurements, and you get what I'm saying? So I did a rough measurement, and it said 18. If you remember a couple of weeks ago, last episode, Xander's bird was 18.6 pounds. And this is 18, but it's a much older bird. All right, so I'm gonna cut just like a few inches, well, not inches, but a few centimeters below because there's a piece of skin and the beard actually goes up through that. So what I'm gonna do, the first thing I gotta do, we gotta measure this baby. So I'm gonna start from where the skin is, and people will do this differently than me, that's fine. And it's just 9 3/4 inches. Nice bird. Mature Tom. And if you weren't sure, the difference between a Tom and a Jake when you're turkey hunting, a Jake is a juvenile bird, like your bratty teenager at home. Just kidding. And a Tom is a fully mature male bird. So that's the beard, 9 3/4 inches. I'm gonna put it over here just for now, because I'm gonna take it inside. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take the beard, the legs, and the tail fan off. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put them in a safe spot, and then I'm gonna salt the meat part of it so that it starts to dry out. Okay, so next thing we're gonna do is we're going to take the tail fan off. Gotta turn him over. He does not want to cooperate. He's being a pain even after he's dead. All right, so I need to do this on that side. So I'm gonna have my lovely wife, Jessica, our camera person, come around so that I can show her how I do it. So we're just gonna switch spots here.
Sorry about that.
All right, so what I do with the tail fan, I kind of bunch it up with my hand, and then I'm gonna look down here. Okay, this may be a little gross, I'm gonna find his little poopy hole, right? And just above it, I'm gonna start to cut. And I'm gonna cut that way. And it gets kind of tricky in here. So like, you gotta be careful, because if you cut too much, you're gonna cut through the feathers. So, there you go. That's the fan cut off. And for now, I'm just gonna stick it to the side. What's great about Jake fans, see, I don't mind killing, I don't mind killing a Jake. I really don't have a problem killing a Jake at all. I love turkey hunting. I love turkey meat. I'm not out there for the trophy. I love it when it happens, but I love killing a Jake because I use you saw in my last episode, and you've seen so far, I use that decoy where I put the fan on it, and I use a Jake fan because typically Jake fans will pull in Jakes and Toms. Tom fans, if you use a Tom fan, the Tom, if it's not super old, it may get a little bit
intimidated.
Intimidated, yeah, that's the word. So it may not come in. It may just stay there. But that's just a little bit of thing. Okay, so now
do we need to switch spots?
Switch sides again.
We're dancing.
And it really has everything to do with the way I cut, and I'm a left-handed cutter most of the part. So now we're gonna take the legs off. So he's got some nice little spurs there.
Right, you got it. There you go. What are the spurs used for?
Defense. Turkeys use spurs to defend. Something is bothering them, they'll use these. And when they get longer even than this, they get very, very sharp. So they'll use those to fend off animals, like predators and stuff. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna break this leg as best I can. Then, right here where his knuckle is, I'm gonna start cutting into that. And at both sides. And then I'm just gonna do this a little bit more. You see how it pulled away a little bit more that time? And now, I'm getting into it. Sometimes you gotta twist a little. And we're gonna run through this as fast as possible, because I could turn this into a half-hour session right here. But I just wanna kind of give you the basics. It's always that last part that I have a hard time getting off. You gotta have a little bit of hand strength here. All right, so now I'm gonna measure the spur. And the spur is 3/4 of an inch, close to an inch. So nice Byrd. All right, we'll just throw that over there. I'm gonna do the same thing with this. Made it backwards a little bit. And I wanna come in. Sometimes you just got to hit the right spot. If you hit that right spot, it just comes right off. Just like that. That was so much easier. I was able to hit that right spot. Okay, so we got our fan, our feet, and our beard. All right, now the fun part. So I'm gonna lay it out, and then I'm gonna take, and I may cut into the skin a little bit here. Kind of on the sides of the legs, because what I'm going to try to do is lay this bird as flat as I can get it on its back. There we go. That's a little better. Get a little bit more off this. And again, I'm not a professional butcher, you guys, but I do like doing it. I do some butcher work for my friends and friends of friends. So if you're in my area and you have any questions, or if you need me to do something for you, let me know. I'm gonna start pulling off fur. Fur. I keep calling it fur. Feathers. I'm gonna start pulling feathers off.
We have a cat.
Yeah, we do have a cat, so I'm gonna do a little less talking and a little bit more of this, okay? Got my handy little trash bag over here to throw these feathers in. I forgot to say something, but these feathers on this guy were so pretty. If you look right here, like as you move, they actually like make brilliant colors. So it's a beautiful, beautiful animal. These feathers are absolutely gorgeous.
They're just a pain in the butt to clean up.
Yeah, they are. I think our garage has permanent turkey feathers at some point in the garage. We've been very good at turkey hunting over the years. Deer hunting, well, we do try really hard. And we put in a lot of time. And that's all I'm going to say about that. All right, so I've got a little bit of the feathers away. And of course I have allergies, so being around a whole lot of feathers isn't always good for me, but hey, it's so worth it. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna just find a piece of skin. It's a little, yeah, there we go. I'm gonna cut into it, but I'm not gonna cut so far that I cut into the breast. So, just gonna get up underneath the skin. I'm gonna separate the skin all the way down as far as I can. And then I'm gonna get it started with the knife. You kind of just see how you just peel that skin away a little bit. I'm gonna make another incision down here. Okay. And then I'm just gonna pull the skin back as far as I can. Sometimes I even like to cut it off because it helps me to see the meat better. And he's got so much of this, I'm just gonna cut this back. Okay, it's just like wanting to stay on. All right, we'll tackle that in a minute. All right, so I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. The thing is once we get all of this meat out, there's always gonna be a little bit of feathers on there. I don't know how to keep that from happening. So we take it inside, we wash it up really good. We check to make sure there's no BBs in the meat from the shotgun. And then we package it. All right, I'll just leave that like that. Okay, so this is a little thing that I do. Maybe most guys or ladies don't do this. This right here is called its gullet. It's this little sac inside the chest cavity. And basically all the food goes into there first and then kind of waits to get processed through the digestive system. But it's very, very close to the breasts. So I'm just gonna peel it back a little bit so I can get a better picture of what I'm cutting on the breasts. All right, just hold on to it and pull a little bit. Yeah, I know, it's gross, but it's all part of, and see what I mean? This is its gullet. He was eating corn.
That's cool.
Right? So you can actually see what a bird is eating by looking into its gullet. Why is that useful? Honey, why do you think that would be useful?
You can see where they're feeding and where they're in the field, or if they're acorns sometimes, or bugs or whatever, they're in the woods.
You can it gives you an idea of where they're feeding. So if you're not tagged out, then you can use that information to hunt other birds. Right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so now I'm gonna start on this side because it's easier for me, but basically I'm gonna cut just a little bit in here. And then, so I'm gonna do that on this side too. I'm gonna cut right down to the bone. It's kind of like if you're used to cutting up a whole chicken, you kind of use the same technique. So I'm gonna use the knife. I'm not the best knife user out there. So I'm gonna cut down to the bone, right? And then I'm gonna follow that bone as best I can. It helps when you have a little bit sharper of a knife.
Well, we just did 2 other birds.
Yeah, I did mine yesterday, and then we did Xander's earlier. And I forgot to sharpen it. So really, I'm just peeling this breast away from the bone.
Which actually a sharp knife is very important.
Very, very important. Especially if you do this a lot, so. I'm telling you, you wrap this puppy in bacon and then grill it. It's gonna be yummy. I am Southern. My Southern comes out every once in a while. And again, I'm not the best cutter in the world, but I tell you what, I don't think anybody who eats my turkey or my venison really cares too much about how I cut it.
Nope.
Because it's always delicious. All right, see, I didn't quite get the gullet all the way out of there. So I'm just gonna cut along that. And for me, it's about the angle. Like sometimes I have to hold the meat up with my hand. There we go. Okay, just gotta get that little piece right there. All right, we have a turkey breast. I throw it in my little pot right there. Not pot, whatever, you know what I mean. All right, so I kind of ran you through that. I'm gonna do the other side without really doing too much talking, and then we'll move on to the legs, okay? So I gotta move over to this side a little bit so I can actually see the meat. Sorry for all the back and forth. It's not my fault that I'm left-handed. And actually, this side is much easier for me because of the way my hand moves. Oh, missing a little bit of that breast meat right there. Didn't get quite close enough to the bone. All right. All right. I did miss a little bit right there. Just like this little piece right here. So what I'm gonna do is cut it off, and that can be part of my grind. Because I almost always take the legs and the thighs and, or at least the thighs, and grind those up. Sometimes I take the breast too if it's a small bird like we're gonna do with Xander's. But, oh, one thing to point out, there is meat on the wing, but it's not a whole ton, and I just don't want to fuss with it. So I leave it there. And I know my friend Wendy Mania, if she's watching, she's probably going to be like, Christopher Byrd, there's meat on that wing, you need to take it all. Well, I'll just bring them all to you. How about that? All right, so our last thing that we're going to do, we've got the, or well, almost the last thing we're going to do. We're going to peel away this skin here until we can see this thigh meat. And what I do, just to make it easier, I actually break that thigh bone. So if you'll look, right there, I just break it. Now that that's broken, I'm going to try to, let me cut some of this skin away really quick. He's a really skin-y bird. Yeah, I got dad jokes all day long. Oh, you know, I don't need any of that. All right, so we've got this. Here's the leg and the thigh, right? So I'm gonna just take, and I'm gonna try to peel the skin back all the way down to where I cut the legs off. Just get underneath that skin. All right. You ever have anybody get under your skin? All right. now I'm gonna just try to pull the skin completely off the leg, like just completely separate it all together. And there's just a lot of it. All right, so got it around. I'm just gonna peel it back and rip it right off. Sorry, buddy. I don't think he minds because he's dead. All right, so now I've got literally a clear picture of this thigh. And how long you've been doing this depends on how quickly this will come off for you. Like my wife behind the camera, she has just started, so it takes her a little while. Me, I know how to cut it because I've done several birds over my hunting life. And I know how to cut it. I don't have to be super careful with it because I know where all the meat is and what it does. So now I'm just gonna come over on this side. And I'm gonna do the same thing with this leg. Now this leg, I peeled some of the meat back, or the skin back earlier. So I've already got a little bit of a head start, but not a whole lot. Oh, hey, look at this. Found a BB. Crazy. Alrighty.
I'm gonna go around the other side.
Yeah. Alright, so I'm gonna just peel this back as much as I can. I'm gonna break that thigh again. It's really not that hard to do. Just 1 second. There we go. I'm like, I knew I put my knife right there. Where is it? All right. Now I'm just gonna start cutting this meat off. Again, if you have any questions, even anything I said that you didn't quite understand, please leave a comment below and I'll try to answer it for you. I love showing people how to do this for themselves. I mean, when I first started hunting, we just couldn't afford to go have someone cut up our game for us. So I had a really good buddy that was extremely patient with me and took the time to show me how to do all these things. And now he prefers my butchering on deer to some professional butchers he knows. All right. So again, like I said earlier in the video, we're gonna take all this in. We're gonna, pick all of these feathers off, and then we're gonna rinse it off and make sure all the feathers and all the gunk and stuff is off of it. See, I left a little bit of skin on there. Go ahead and take that off now. So we've got our breasts out. We've got our legs and thighs out. All right, and there's just one thing left. What do you think that is, Mama?
Dispose of the carcass.
Nope.
Oh.
I have one thing left that I take out and I throw it in my grind.
The heart.
It is the heart. So you've got this chest cavity here. You'll be able to cut a little ways back, but not very far. And you have to be careful and just kind of break those bones. You can actually see the liver right in here. So I'm gonna reach my hand in there. I'm gonna kind of pull back the liver, and you'll be able to feel this heart-shaped muscle called the heart, and you literally just pull it right out. And this little guy goes in my grind. I'll cut it up, clean it up a little bit, but he's gonna be burger. All right, guys, so we have time. Oh, one thing. Okay, honey, I'll do it. one thing my wife wanted me to show you was the gizzard. I gotta cut this out. Hold on just a second. Now, this, they will swallow rocks, pebbles, different stuff, and it helps them to digest and grind down their food as it goes through their digestive system. If you take this out, it's literally hard as a rock. You take this out and very carefully slice into it. You can pull it back. Little rocks, little stones all inside of it. That helps with our digestive system. Okay, as I was saying, you have seen me take the bird from just being killed, no butchering involved, to now you can take it inside, clean it up, freeze it, and then you've got edible meat. So that is how I butcher a bird. And when you get done, you're always gonna be like, ooh, I see that little bit of meat right there. I'm gonna try to get that tiny, tiny bit of meat off. But as you do it, you will get more comfortable with it, and it won't take much time at all, and you'll be glad that you know how to do it. And your tummy will be happy too. All right, guys. Catch
Catch you later.
you later. There we go.